Well, hello there folks, and welcome to Glen Affric. One of my favourite places on the planet. It is just absolutely stunning. Some of the most amazing scenery, and even just sort of driving along the actual road there itself, every time you turn a corner, it just blows you away. So I'm up here for some fun. It's going to be a case of 2 days on the kayak, so really looking forward to it, and also a bit of an overnight camp as well. Now, a couple of wee complications when I've actually arrived. Basically, the actual car park where I normally park has actually now got a no parking sign. So I need to try and find somewhere to park later on. And also, the place where I would normally go across the actual island itself has now actually got water between the two. So again, but once I've got my kayaking gear, I'll transport everything over. So as I said, I'm just so excited. I'm just going to go and get the boat right in the water and get out for some fun. Well, what can I say? That feels great getting back out in the water. It's a lot windier than I thought it was going to be. The sort of forecast was sort of like 10-mile-an-hour winds. Now, this is going to be okay because where I'm going just now, I'm going to have a tailwind, but it's going to be a bit of a struggle getting home. Okay, I'll catch up with you once I've actually got out into the middle a wee bit and I can get going. Okay, so I didn't get a chance to sort of shoot as much stuff as I was actually wanting to back at the van, sort of taking the kayak off, but it's such a popular area. So a couple of families sort of came along, lovely families, young kids and everything as well, splashing about, having an absolute whale of a time. So I was very respectful towards that sort of idea and didn't shoot an awful lot. But it was good fun. It was just a paddle down. It's definitely going to be a choppy one on the way back up, but this particular area that I'm actually in is just so calm. So I'm going to do a wee bit of fishing, and then I'm going to head up actually towards the big dam. The water is quite calm up there as well, and try and see if I can actually catch some fish. Now, I'm not relying on fish for my dinner tonight. I've actually got stuff already, so it's not going to be too much of a problem. I am still trying to figure out though how I'm going to be able to park the van and actually get back, because I said it is a fair old hike. So we'll see how we go with that. But I said I'm just going to put it all around, just enjoy it more than anything else. Just a sort of peace. Just amazing. So I have to say, when it comes to like the kayaking, it's this sort of stuff that I actually really like doing. Actually sort of coming onto islands, doing a wee bit of exploring, and possibly always looking for like future camps, etc. But I'll turn the camera around. Just look at that. Just gorgeous. It was such a nice paddle, but as I said, I know for a fact it's going to be a bit of a struggle on the way back up the actual loch. So it's just coming up 3 o'clock now, so I'm not going to be too much longer before I sort of head back. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take all the equipment over, sort of set up camp itself, and then probably actually just move the van, just so I can actually get some food on. Starting to get a wee bit hungry. It just feels so good getting back out in the water though. Just so peaceful. Well, that's me on the island, and I have to say that was quite a hard little graft up the actual loch itself, but as predicted. But it has sort of literally just as I've arrived, it's completely and utterly calmed down. So hopefully get a little bit of fishing done in a wee while, which will be good fun. So I'm actually going to go back to the van at the moment, taking a couple of bags on just now. Going to go back to the van, grab the rest of the actual gear, take it over. So it's the Polish Lavoo is the shelter I've actually got for tonight. So I want to get that actually set up and my sort of sleep system done, and then make a decision about food. So situation I've got on food, there's signs everywhere, no fires. So I am going to abide by that. I always tend to. Normally I would have my little Wildcamping International titanium stove. I've not actually brought that with me. That would have been the actual fix. So I've got one or two options. I've got pork pies and things like that in the van that I actually had for tomorrow's lunch. Or alternatively, I might cook it up in the actual van itself. But I'll probably just go for the pork pie option. So we'll see what happens. So as I said, I'm just going to go over, grab everything and get it all set up. So I have to say, I just love the Polish Lavoo. It's absolutely brilliant, it's so versatile. Again, it's normally what I do if I want to go reasonably close to the fire, but obviously tonight I can't do that. But I'll still get a good night's sleep, so I'm just going to get sleep mats in and all that sort of things as well, and then get some food on. Okay, I'll get back to you once that is all cooked up. Just the noise of that water is just absolutely lovely. It's going to be really relaxing tonight. Really looking forward to it. I do seem to remember there's a rather friendly owl in here who's quite chatty. So that could be quite an interesting night tonight. I don't think I'll have any other campers here just because of the fact that it's actually the water, you've got to cross the water. So I should be all, by myself tonight, so that'll be nice. But just going to chill, just going to relax, going to have a bit of food, have a wee drink, and then it's going to be a case of move the van, hike it back, and then get myself settled down for a good night. Was hoping they might have actually had some stars tonight, so fingers crossed. You never know. It's clouded over at the moment, but you never know. It might happen. But I think a wee bit of hammock time might be actually required as well, just a bit of a chill out. That's it. I'll just wait till dinner's ready. Oh, I've been looking forward to this. Do you know sometimes where you just have a fancy for a fry up? It needed to happen. That's superb. Right, I'm just going to sit here, eat this, and then I'm going to get the van moved. All you can hear is the water lapping on the rocks and some distant birds. So peaceful. Just so peaceful. So I have to say, incredibly relaxing day. But really pleased to get back out in the kayak. Absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it. Although that was hard work coming back up again. But no, brilliant getting out in the actual kayak. It's amazing some of the things you actually see when you are out there. Just sort of paddling around in the actual water. So thoroughly enjoyable. No luck with the fish. No even bites. So again, that was the first fishing trip. So next one's going to be on the actual sea. So we'll see how we go. Maybe get a bit more luck. But I can't really express what this stuff does for my mental health more than anything. You know, it just so relaxing, so calming as well. But I still reckon the owls will be coming out later. So I think I said earlier on, I know that there's one normally on the actual island itself, and then over on the opposite shore. You know, I cannot still understand why he goes twit and they go twoo. What else have they got to talk about after they've done their twit and their twoo? But normally it ends up going on for a wee while. But this will probably be one of the last trips before I actually start getting attacked by midges, the Scottish midgie. So thoroughly enjoying it and just sort of taking advantage of it. Now, quite often when I'm in these sort of scenarios, the actual campfire just keeps the actual bugs and midges away. But I can understand why they don't want fires on the actual islands itself. Loch Marie's done the same thing. So you can't have a fire. But as I said, I think the little mini, the Wildcamping International stove would be a good idea. Because at least it would be able to actually have something like that that's a lot more controlled. So we'll see how we go. But I'll most probably sit here, finish this one, and then go and get another one, and then I'll catch up with you. But I think there's also maybe a little bit of room in the evening for a trip to the hammock. Well, folks, I have a wee confession. I went and lay in the actual hammock and fell asleep. So it's actually, I don't know what time it is, to be perfectly honest. It's one of those sort of trips where it doesn't really matter. But I'm going to actually turn in now, so I'm actually going to get into the actual sleeping bag itself. Now, basically, the situation I've got just now is it's meant to be raining from about 1 o'clock in the morning till about 6. So I'm going to close everything up and just get everything underneath the actual. Reason I sort of take the kayak up is I can actually put a lot of stuff underneath the actual kayak, just keep it waterproof. But also the water levels. Now, basically, already the actual what was that water that was making this an island gone. So the water levels do actually change quite dramatically on the actual loch itself, according to the actual dam. So I'd hate to wake up tomorrow morning and find the kayak out in the middle. So again, I just sort of take it in, pop it actually just here, and I can actually use it for using it as a table, etc. as well. So banning any incident, I shall see you all in the morning. Well, what can I say? That was a good sleep. That was a really, really good sleep. Much needed. And again, I reckon this seems to be a sort of trend here. That was probably about 9.5 hours. So feeling really refreshed. Can't wait to get out in the water. What an absolute belter of a morning. Really, really nice. So for breakfast, I'm just going to have energy bars and some water and things like that as well. I just want to try and get out in the water as quick as I can and try and get as much time out there. I'm just going to sit here for a few minutes and enjoy the views. It's gone quite windy again. It was sort of perfectly calm, but it just seems to be sort of coming and going. Just that scenery up the loch is just amazing with the snow-topped mountains. Absolutely brilliant. So I'm just wanting to go to the opposite shore, just to investigate a little bit. Again, it's always that sort of future camping spot sort of thing. That's it, I'll hook up with you once I've got over there. So that's me over on the opposite shore. It is lovely. Now this would be quite a hike to actually get to, because I need to park at sort of Dog Falls, if anyone knows the area, and then sort of hike along the coast of it. But it is stunning. I'm going to turn the camera around and just sort of do a wee pan just so you can actually see the views. Wow, really nice. Now, when I was glancing down there, just as I was doing that pan, there looks as if there's a bit of weather coming in, which was sort of predicted. So we'll see how we go. I might just sort of paddle back over and start taking down camp. But I'm just going to have a little wander around. The idea on this particular side was actually to do a hammock trip. So again, there's plenty of trees around for me to actually do it, but I just want to try and pick a spot. Just so I know exactly where I am, and then what I'll do is I'll just actually plot it with the coordinates, so I'll know for future reference. But so I'm just going to turn it around again. So over there is actually where I've done a couple of trips over the last wee while. I've done a summit camp on that one, and then gone up into the actual the mountains. And that's where I actually did the camp where I actually put the wee snow wall around me. So I said, I've done quite a lot in this area in the last wee while. It is just absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to go along and see if I can actually find some trees just with the sort of right distance again for the hammock. Just to actually know where I'm coming. Tell you what, if I had my boots with me, I'd be off into the mountains today as well. Also, as I've been sort of kayaking around, just sort of looking at routes, paths and things like that up into the actual mountains themselves for future summit camps. Always planning. Just an absolutely spectacular tree route. Now basically Glen Affric is sort of well renowned for having these routes, quite a lot of them just sort of protruding through the actual water. Now you can actually see some of them just along the actual coastline there, but that looks amazing. Absolutely amazing. And again, just behind me, you can see them in the water just along the actual edges. Well smart. Okay, so I found a couple of actual places just for the hammock, although it does also look as if it would be quite nice for a bivvy trip as well. Just literally down on the actual stones. A beautiful place to come, and again, what a backdrop. So I say, just going to chill out at this bit for a wee bit and then head back over and, as I say, get camped down. Well, that's me back at camp, and I have to say the weather's taken a real turn for the worse. So there was just a massive big rain shower there just now, so I just sort of hunkered down in the actual lavoo but it looks as if it's coming back in again just now, so it's blowing a bit of a hoolie as well. I'm going to go and put the kayak on the van, get that side of things actually done. That always tends to take the longest amount of time, and then I'll be back over and I'll take down camp. See you in a wee bit. Well, that's me all packed up and practiced my leave no trace. Had a good wander around trying to make sure that there's nothing lying around apart from an odd place rock which I've put back where I actually had the Uco light last night. But hopefully this video has sort of shown some of the beauty that is kicking around this sort of area. Glen Affric is such an amazing place. But a thoroughly enjoyable trip, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed it as well. I'm not going to do the dramatic walk away from the camera, it's quite upsetting. But no, really good trip. Absolutely brilliant getting back out in the kayak, and looking forward to many more kayak trips this year. Okay, so thanks very much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Take care, bye bye.